Hi everyone. Today I'm going to share 8 interesting facts about me. Um, Interesting and unexpected, I guess. So, number one, the most important thing you need to know about me is I'm a doll collector, you guys. I've been collecting since 2023. Yeah, I think 2023. Um, I'm an MGA Entertainment girl. I grew up with Bratz dolls, so of course, now that they're back on the scene, I'm like obsessed, but I still sometimes I debate because at first I was just going to collect the new dolls, like the new lines that came out, but now that they're starting to like recycle some of the old, collections, I'm on the fence about that. I would probably rather have like the original dolls. So I don't know. When I get back into collecting, when I have the time, I'll definitely kind of be scouring eBay for stuff like that. Um, but I mainly collect Rainbow High dolls. I love them. They're so cute. And, I do their hair, restyle them, put them in different outfits, and then I take like photos of the dolls, like doing certain things. Um, I also like miniatures, so like mini brands. It's super cute to like have the dolls hold things and look like they're doing certain things. So, yeah, and I usually post those girlies on my Pinterest, but I haven't done so in a while. But and I also collect LOL OMG dolls. And recently, there's a mall 10 minutes down the road, and went up there and found this store called Treasure Isle, I think. And they had a doll section, so I'm looking around, and it was mostly Barbie. And I was never a Barbie fan. Obviously, I had some Barbies growing up, but you know, never been a Barbie fan. But their Princesses of the World collection, they had some of those at that store, and I ended up going home with 2 Barbie dolls to add to my collection, which was very unexpected. But I think I got Princess of Maui or the Hawaii doll, and I got some European princess. Number two, I ran a fashion blog for a few years because I wanted to be a fashion blogger. Um, I still love fashion. I don't know if I'll ever like start an Instagram for my outfits or anything like that. I would love to do something like that. I would love to have the time and energy to do something like that, and the creative juices flowing again to do something like that. But I do have to rebuild my wardrobe. So, I've been ordering some clothes here and there, but like this outfit, for example, I got from Shein. It's new. And but I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see about that. Number three, I was in orchestra for 6 years, and I played the violin. Um, Orchestra was fun, but also not, because my personality is not suited for performing on stage. So practice would be one thing, and then being on stage during concerts was a whole other. And kind of to the point where anytime I would go and watch an orchestra, like I would kind of have a mini panic attack, even though I wasn't on stage anymore. And that's when I kind of realized, like, oh, I was kind of pushing myself with that. But I love playing music, and I love music and playing musical instruments, and I hope one day I can learn how to play the harp. That's my next musical endeavor that I hope I can achieve. Number 4, I played golf my senior year of high school. So senior year came and I'm like, you know what? I want to play a sport. What was the easiest sport that I could think of? Golf. Now, I grew up watching golf with my dad. So, it wasn't like, oh, this is a random sport. When I found out we had a golf club, I was like, wow, that kind of would be perfect for me. And it was so fun, just unexpectedly. And recently, I had the time to go to Top Golf for the first time. And y'all, I was so impressed that all these years later, I still had my form and I was still hitting some really good hits. So I definitely want to invest in a Top Golf membership, and I want to make that like a consistent thing that I do, like at least every week. Number 5, in college, I majored in biochemistry and molecular biology. Now, that seems very out of left field, but for the longest time, I wanted to be a scientist, a particular type of scientist. I wanted to be a hybridist. Like, I wanted to mix animals and create different species, and mix plants and create different species. So, that was my logic in going to college for biochemistry and molecular biology, because you have the biology aspect of it, then you have the chemistry aspect, and then you have kind of like the base level of genetics, sort of. So, obviously, science and math are intertwined, but you need a good base in math to excel in some of these areas of academia, which I did not have. So I struggled a lot with the mathematics side of things in college, not so much chemistry itself or the biology aspect. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all, some things in biology was I just remember these long, long words. I remember some of these words were atrocious, and wow. Like, I'm the kind of girl who grew up like reading the dictionary and the thesaurus for fun. So when I think back on it, I'm like, that wasn't a good time mentally to be pursuing something so extreme. Do I think I could, finish a degree in that if I put my mind to it? Absolutely. Do I want to now? Is that the path that I want to take after, living life, becoming a mom? No. So, my goals have changed, but I still definitely have an interest in science and chemistry and the theory behind mathematics. I'm not so much into solving equations, but like the theories behind mathematics are interesting to me still. So, number 6, I love the arts. So, obviously being in orchestra, and then doing concerts is a performing art, but I like to watch the arts more so now. I went to the ballet for the first time a couple years ago, like directly before I met my husband, so that kind of threw things off. I went to see the Nutcracker around this time of year, obviously. It was December. Loved it. It was beautiful. It was stunning. I wanted to be a lot of things when I was younger, and one of those included a ballerina. So I was just like mesmerized. I loved it. Recently, back in September, I went to go see a play called An Enemy of the People. It was really good. Enjoyed it. And then in high school, my best friend at the time was in theater, so I watched a lot of their plays that they did. Like, I remember them doing Beauty and the Beast, and they did a really good job. And a couple other plays I had gone to. So, I hope I get to go to more performances, of course. Like, stuff like that is downtown from where I'm from. So I have to like explore this area still and find out what's around here and stuff like that. But yeah. And number 7, I've self-published 3 books on Amazon and hope to write more. I'm definitely not done with my pursuit of being an author. Things have just been like on the back burner for a long time. So the book I hope to write in the future is kind of like a life story book. It would be about the stuff that I talk about on this channel, more in depth and more kind of like, not a self-help book, but I don't know, maybe like a memoir type of thing, autobiography. And that's very different from what I have published. My first novel, I started when I was 10. I was 10 years old, y'all. And I finished that book completely, like edited it and everything. I was 18 when I finally published that book. It's called Daydream of Heaven on Amazon. It's basically a sci-fi fantasy, like think of Game of Thrones, where you have a ton of characters and they're all like interwoven, and you have like princesses and royalty, and then like our main character she's not a peasant in this country, but she's kind of like the equivalent of like middle class. She's a water tower owner, so she's very important to society. And she ends up doing something that shakes the foundation of her entire country structure, catches the attention of her princess, and then she gets thrown into this world of royalty. And yeah, I'm still to this day, I'm very proud of my book, and I still love all my characters. Like, I would love to write another book. There were so many books that I wanted to do with this lineup of characters. And yeah, I just love the story of triumph, overcoming struggle. And obviously it reflects a lot of the things that I went through growing up, which is, kind of why you write a book. You're trying to channel your experiences and your feelings into a character and then put it in a completely different setting to try and, I guess, process. But yeah, My second book was a novelette, so it was very short. I think it's only like 130 something pages. And that one is called Canon. And it's about a girl named Canon. And she is involved in a terrorist attack. So she ends up surviving solely based off of, he's basically kind of like a fallen angel who's been watching her for a long time. So he ends up saving her. She has survivor's guilt moving forward because she's the only one who survives, but no one really knows that. And so, romance kind of ensues with this fallen angel, but she ends up kind of starting to understand, like, oh, I kind of have amnesia because I blocked out some stuff from my past. So meeting him and getting involved with him kind of leads her to discover a lot of things about the people around her, the truth about the people around her, and a lot of things that she blocked out and forgot about. So it's basically about memories, doubting memories, recovering memories, and just not everything is as it seems. And then my third book was a short story telling the story of my sexual assault. So I've been telling that story the last couple videos in like a short educational way. But if you guys want to like read the actual story of everything that happened, and like I said, I had a diary that I referenced from that night where I wrote everything word for word, every single detail that night as soon as I came home. So that's the information I used to write my book. So everything is in there. It's way more detailed than I can get into just telling you the story. So if you want to read that, that's called Yellow Sky Before the Storm. A story of high school sexual assault. And all of this is available on Amazon under my author name, Alexandra Fitzgerald. So. And then number 8, I was more used to heels growing up than sneakers. Now, you guys, I started wearing heels when I had to have been 3rd or 4th grade. And when I say heels, I'm talking about kittens, and it's a specific style. They're like block heels, but the short block heels. Yeah. Me and my mom always used to go to the Goodwill every week for 50% off Saturdays. And, I got all of my clothes from the Goodwill, like 99% of them growing up. So anytime I would find a cute pair of shoes, it was just like a miracle they were in my size. I remember this one pair of shoes I wore to death until I could not fit them anymore. They were probably like an inch worth of a block heel, and they were Mary Jane styled, but they had like 2 thin straps on the top and a rounded toe, and they were black. Oh my gosh, these shoes went with everything, y'all. They were so cute, so comfortable. I don't know how I wore them everywhere all the time. But yeah, I love those. I had a pair of like black kitten heels, and they were pointed. I wore those a lot. I was a major girly girl. I loved heels, and the heels only got taller as I got older. So by the time I was in high school, I was buying like very Lita, Jeffrey Campbell Lita-esque boots. And I still have that kind of style where it's like very alternative, like gothic. Um, I used to wear like stiletto type heels for special occasions, and then like just a tall platform boot type of heel, just out and about. Um, yeah, and I stopped wearing heels when it was uh, after I graduated. I remember wearing heels in college, so I was 20 at that point. So it was pretty recently that I retired my heels, and now I'm more into sneakers. I still love platforms. Um, but more so like platform sneakers and then combat boots. But yeah, you guys, that is 8 interesting facts about me. Um, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something about me that you didn't know before. Um, if you guys want me to go more in depth into any of these topics, I definitely will tell more stories about certain things. You know, more updates on the collection and updates on like how reintroducing my hobbies is going while I'm on this healing journey. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.